Okay, so the next thing that we're getting into are speaking events and booking speaking events and using that as a platform to get your book out into the marketplace. This is huge. Clay, I know that you've done a number of speaking events over the course of the years. Thousands.
Seriously, over 1,000.
Okay, thousands of speaking events. Why is this a good platform to sell a self-published book?
I wish it wasn't. I love these speaking events because of the wonderful people we meet from all over the world, and I love seeing people impacted. One lady literally came up after a speaking event and said, "You have no idea how what you said today impacted me. I've been looking for these answers." And it kept happening, and that's why we built Thrive 15, is because people need these answers. We wanted to scale it out. The problem is speaking events require you to, for me, I always bring my wife with me, but I have 5 kids. So now my kids can't go with me. I have to change my schedule. I had to, get your luggage, book your ticket. I've literally flown up for a speaking event in Wisconsin, and I got there, and my credit card, I grabbed my wife's credit card instead of mine, and so I couldn't actually rent my car, and my wife somehow, and long story short, she wasn't with me on the event, so I had to take a cab ride. I paid $1,200 to ride a cab from the hotel, from the airport in Green Bay up to my event and back. I've had to travel with 200 pounds of books, paying $600 to ship my books to the event. I've had to spend the night in the airport in Albuquerque. I was in New York for an interview with Bloomberg, and a taxi cab drove in front of me and totally splashed all my clothes. Not kidding. Had to buy clothes right before the interview. I can go on and on and on the non-glamorous aspects of speaking events. But when you're in front of an audience and they can look you in the eye and they get that you really care, nothing's better. And so, there's going to be an event right there for you specifically where it's for biking enthusiasts. They're going to a rally. Maybe they're going to have a big race tomorrow, and tonight they're going to have a banquet. Maybe there's a health awareness thing for a company. Maybe there's an HR director at a company who's looking for a speaker. Maybe there's a American Heart Association is doing an event, and they need somebody to come in from the outside. Not to get into Proverbs, but in Proverbs, it talks about how the messenger, the prophet can't come from his own town. Weird deal. But you have to, the expert, we brought in this expert from Florida to talk to us today about, because you came from out of town, they're going, wow, this guy must be an expert. So check this out. I'm going to read this little commercial to you. This is how it's going to sound in the future. And I want you to hear it because it's going to happen to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's speaker, John Tucker, is a best-selling author of a book called Such and Such. He has been a cyclist enthusiast for years. He works full-time at Yada Yada, and his love of cycling has now turned into an international book-selling sensation. Let's hear it for Yada Yada. And then people are going, I want to hear that. I'm from corporate America, and I would like to have a book, or I would like to get into better shape, or I would like to, wow. And then you're just talking from your heart, and you say, guys, I wrote the book called Such and Such because I really wanted to connect with people about 3 things. And today we're going to talk about one of those things. Today we're going to talk about, so the people leave going, I want to read the rest of the book. And then in the back, you say, guys, in the back of the room here, for anybody who's here today, if you want to buy the book, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things. One, if you buy my book is $15. And if you buy it, I'm going to donate $5 back to the Yada Yada Association, or $1 back, or I'm going to make this download available for you if you buy the book today. Or you can get a discount on the book today. Or if you buy the book today, you can get a discount off one of my sponsors, Yada Yada Biking or something. But you sell the books. And when you sell the books, if it's a good book, people will talk about the book. I said a good book. If it's a book that people like, there's a difference between good books and books people like. There's books that I've read that are really, really good that no one likes, a.k.a. the service profit chain. Heskett, man. I love you, Heskett. He's a professor at Harvard, and his book is awesome. But people don't read it because people want short little, small books. But what I'm saying is that is a great way to do it. So I'm going to break it into the specific details for you. There's 3 moves you got to do, okay? One is you need to make a Gig Masters account, gigmasters.com. And guess what? They're going to ask you for a video. They're going to ask you for a PR kit, photos, a bio. Most of the tools you already have made by that time. How do you get video footage of you speaking if you haven't been paid to speak yet? Good question. What you want to do is you want to volunteer to speak at your local chambers, your local events, your local Rotary clubs, your local biker enthusiast events, and you want to film them and video them so that you can show people examples. I worked with a speaker who we've helped go from being a school teacher to a multi-million-dollar speaker just by this very system. So gigmasters.com is you make your account there. The second is Gig Salad, G-I-G Salad. It's another place. You pay about $35 a month for these listings. And then you want to try, if you can, to find an agent. Because agents make their money when you make money. And usually they won't book you until people want to book you, which is stupid. Like they won't book you until people want to book you. But start off on Gig Masters and Gig Salad and go out there and get yourself some speaking events. And I'm just telling you what I did. I spoke at the Junior Achievement for years, 9 years for free. I didn't know what I was doing. Speaking for free, really annoying people, probably not teaching them very much, didn't have a plan, never used an outline. It was rough. Now I look back at myself and say, dumb. But I spoke, and the last 2 years I started making outlines, having a plan, and people started saying, you're getting pretty good. I'd like to hire you to come speak at our group. What do you charge? Do you have a website? And I'm like, no. Dumb. Do you have a PR kit? No. Do you have any sample videos? No. I'm thinking, if I would have recorded that. So when you do speak, you need to video it.